Hello, my name is Paul Spee, based at the University of Queensland, Australia. I'm the 2023 chair of the Career Achievement Award Committee and an AOM member since 2009. A huge appreciation, first of all, goes to the distinguished award committee members who contributed to the selection of the recipient. Thank you for your time and service, Jacqueline Cole-Shapiro, Professor in Leadership and Organizational Behavior at California State University, San Bernardino, and Emerita Professor in Organizational Behavior at the London School of Economics and Political Sciences. Thank you also, Anne Langley, Professor Emeritus at HEC Montreal, and thank you, Stephen Mazias, Professor of Entrepreneurship and Family Enterprise at INSEAD Middle East Campus. And thank you, George Rom, Professor and Chair of Entrepreneurship and Innovation at Eindhoven University of Technology. I am very excited to present today our honorees for the Career Achievement Award for the Distinguished Scholar-Practitioner Award. It is a Lifetime Achievement Award recognizing significant contributions in one or more of the following areas: the successful application of theory or research in practice, and/or a contribution to knowledge through extraction of learning from practice. Authored scholarly works which have substantially affected the practice of management. Integration of research and practice. It's been a pleasure to read all the dossiers of nominees. It's been a very tough choice. This year's Distinguished Scholar-Practitioner Award recognizes the work of the nominee who has made exceptional contributions, not just in one, but across all areas of the award. In particular, the strong contribution to practice, especially leadership studies of CEOs, which the candidate has built over 120 peer-reviewed journal articles in the leading academic journals in management. I wish to congratulate Jeffrey Sonnenfeld. Your contributions have been exemplary. Your work demonstrated broad impact, both as a scholar and on practice, which have brought lasting and now multiplying benefits to the field. Jeffrey Sonnenfeld is at Yale School of Management, Senior Associate Dean for Leadership Studies, and the Lester Crown Professor in the Practice of Management. Jeffrey Sonnenfeld is founder and president of the Chief Executive Leadership Institute, a non-for-profit educational and research institute focused on CEO leadership and corporate governance. Jeffrey Sonnenfeld's work exemplifies his pioneering research in leadership and corporate governance, senior executive careers, and corporate social responsiveness, which addresses issues that have become central to how organizations function today. Jeffrey's research was published in journals like the Academy Management Journal, the Academy of Management Review, Human Resource Management, to name but a few, and he has been publishing over 8 books. For instance, Firing Back: How Great Leaders Rebound from Career Disasters. Jeffrey Sonnenfeld has brought his work to practice. Let me give you a few examples of the impact and reach of Jeffrey Sonnenfeld's work. He has been advising the White House, US State Department, and US Treasury Department based on his research. In addition, Jeffrey Sonnenfeld contributed over 3,000 short editorials and broadcasted commentaries on business and society topics. These featured in, and again, I'm just giving you a small snapshot, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, The Economist, Forbes, Business Week, CNBC, and CNN. Jeffrey Sonnenfeld also received several awards, including the 2022 Worth Magazine Worthy 100 Leaders list, which recognizes the most influential leaders across society. Huge congratulations Jeffrey Sonnenfeld. We hope you take the time to view remaining Academy of Management Award presentation sessions for the Distinguished Educator Award, the Distinguished Service Award, and the Distinguished Award for Scholarly Contributions to Management.
Hi, this is a huge honor and a huge surprise. I never thought that I would be getting an Academy Award, but here I am getting an Academy Award from an academy, and from an academy that I've been very much a part of for the last 40 some years. I want to, of course, thank Paul Spee right up front and the awards committee of the Academy of Management. And as most of us, we think back to our own origins in thanking people. And I want to thank my late parents, Rochelle and Burton Sonnenfeld, who I pray are looking down, smiling. My inspiring mother was an immigrant to this country who became paralyzed with her arms and legs, but never stopped fighting noble battles and looking for failing causes and losing candidates, but kept on going and her noble missions. While my dad was a small clothing merchant and a volunteer fireman, but always encouraged us to be engaged in the community. My brother was also very much supportive, as of my dad, in my quixotic missions, but also running cover. My brother's an attorney, my brother Mark, to help bring me protection that I've often needed in this type of research. And then my wife, Clarky, has been my loyal life partner for 23 years. My daughters, Sophie and Lauren, the three of these ladies provide me with the love and vital support and encouragement to take on these crusades, and also, in fact, to work very late nights with 50 volunteers in the particular project that I think has brought the spotlight to my work this year, which is looking at economic and cultural and political and environmental and economic tools for these experts have from around the world for a constantly updating research that we started in the spring of 2022 with rating 1,500 multinationals that my colleague here, our research director, Stephen Tian, has helped lead, excuse me, which is really taking a look at the stampede of exits from Russia that we modestly helped catalyze. My bosses, I should also thank, of course, Dean Kerwin Charles at the Yale School of Management and President Peter Salovey of Yale, who've allowed me to take such bold global risks with the university's reputation. This award separates that path, and it's a huge honor for me for that reason. I've served on the board of governors of the Academy of Management, and I've helped lead summer meetings. In fact, I helped run the summer annual conference, the annual meetings in DC back in the early 80s. I served on 7 editorial boards, 120 scholarly publications, 7 books. I was the professor. I'm honored to say that I was Poets and Quants Professor of the Year last year. But this is an award like none of those other distinctions. This is a class by itself. It's poignant to be back in Boston this summer to celebrate this award. I was at Harvard for 18 years, but it was at the Academy of Management meetings in 1982 where I led the founding of the Careers Division and the first sessions and the first program at the Academy of Management, soon after becoming the president of that new division. But I still keenly remember my very first annual Academy conference, which was in Atlanta in 1978. I had just become a professor at the age of 24, and running into the legends then of Lee Preston and Jim Post and Tim Hall, and in fact those three great pillars of the Academy were citing 2 Harvard Business Review articles unwittingly that I had written as I was sitting in the audience, and went up later to tell them that I had just written those pieces on the aging workforce and on price fixing and executives coming out of prison. They didn't believe that a 24-year-old could do that. And there was a wonderful thing about the Academy is that you had such access to the legends. And since then, others who've inspired me, such as Jeff Pfeffer, John Slocum, Marshall Meyer, Wayne Casio, Tom Cummings, Arvin Bombry, and my old office mate who suffered so much, Brad Agel, Andrew Ward, Amy Hurley, and as I mentioned before, Joe DeLillo, our chief operating officer, has been with me in building our research institute for the last 34 years. Our goal has been that applied social science has a different responsibility than just replicating what our colleagues in the arts and sciences colleges do. That society wants professional schools for a purpose, to speak to practice. And we do that not just to salute practitioners, but to challenge them in creating the world's first school for CEOs, as we did for incumbent CEOs. This is before the World Economic Forum or Forbes, Fortune Business Week, or New York Times, or CNBC, or others got into this space. We realized that we can add some value by probing constructive confrontation the way we would in our MBA classrooms, to create a room so people do not, to use the old adage of the Greek proverb of the fish rotting from the top, is that when they atrophy in high office, it cascades down the firm. So our research celebrates and challenges CEOs and engaging them in governance reform, racial justice, gender equality, environmental sustainability, cancer abatement, immigration reform, voting rights, and of course, this recent exit from Russia. And that's what we try to fortify. So I accept this award, not just in gratitude for the honor you bestow upon me personally, but I accept it with joy and pride that the Academy recognizes the importance of bringing scholarship and practice to a better world. Thank you very much.